Hey, so if you're an international pharmacy graduate and you've been dreaming of a career in Australia, then you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down the entire process into a super clear, actionable roadmap, and we'll start with the biggest question of all. What's the opportunity really like? So why Australia? Well, for a lot of people, the answer starts right here. The average annual salary for a pharmacist is sitting at around 100,000 Australian dollars. I mean, that's a pretty compelling figure that really shows just how rewarding a career down under can be. But believe it or not, that's only the average. The big question then is, how do you get from where you are right now to actually practicing in an Australian pharmacy? Look, the process can seem a little complicated from the outside, but we're going to map out the entire journey for you step by step. First things first, let's take a closer look at the opportunity itself. Before we get into the how, it's really important to understand the full scope of the rewards and the kind of career potential that's waiting for you in Australia. Yeah, that $100,000 figure is really just the beginning. When you're just starting out, entry-level roles often land in the $70,000 to $80,000 range. But the real story here is the growth. With 6 or more years of experience under your belt, your annual salary could climb to over $120,000. The potential for career progression is huge. And of course, other things can boost your earnings even more. Your salary is going to depend on your experience level, for sure, but also your location. Major cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth often pay more. And then there's your specialization. Roles in areas like oncology or working as a consultant pharmacist in a hospital setting, those typically command a much higher salary. Okay, so the potential is definitely clear. But how do you actually make it happen? Well, the entire journey can be boiled down to a simple 3-phase roadmap, which gives you a really nice high-level view of the path ahead. The whole thing breaks down into just 3 high-level phases. First, you'll handle the initial skills assessment and exams from your home country. Second, you arrive in Australia for your provisional registration and supervised practice. And third, you complete the final assessments to get your full general registration. Simple, right? Now, you're going to be dealing with 2 main organizations, and it is vital to know who does what. The Australian Pharmacy Council, or APC, is your first point of contact. They're the ones who handle that initial skills assessment and exam phase while you're still overseas. Then, once you're in Australia, you'll work with AHPRA and the Pharmacy Board. They manage your internship and all the stages of registration. Okay, let's dive into Phase 1, the knowledge exam. You want to know the best part about this phase? You can clear this first critical hurdle from the comfort of your own home country. Phase 1 itself is made up of 3 key steps. First, you'll confirm you're eligible. Second, you'll pass the main knowledge exam. And third, you'll get that official skills assessment outcome letter that you absolutely need for your visa. So let's break down that first step. Step 1 is the eligibility check. Its purpose is super simple. It's just to make sure your pharmacy qualification is valid. The fee is 810 Australian dollars, and you'll need clear scans of your passport, degree, and your academic transcript. The key takeaway here, though, is the timeline. Make sure you apply at least 8 weeks before exam registration closes, just to be safe. Once you're eligible, it's time for the main event of Phase 1, the OPRA exam. This stands for the Overseas Pharmacist Readiness Assessment, and it's basically a computer-based test designed to check your core knowledge of the pharmaceutical sciences. So where should you focus your studies? The breakdown is crystal clear. Therapeutics and patient care makes up a massive 45% of the exam. This is absolutely where you should direct the bulk of your effort, followed by biomedical sciences and pharmacology. And here are the practical details you're gonna need for planning. It's a 120-question multiple-choice exam. You get 2.5 hours to complete it, and the fee is 2,245 Australian dollars. For 2026, the exam is offered in March, July, and November, which gives you plenty of flexibility for scheduling. After you pass the OPRA exam, and congratulations, by the way, there's one final little step in this phase. You'll pay a $300 fee to receive your official skills assessment outcome letter. This document is your golden ticket. Seriously, it's the key that unlocks your visa application and the entire next phase of your journey in Australia. With that crucial letter in hand, you are ready for the final steps, which all take place after you arrive in Australia. This is where you really make the transition from being an overseas candidate to becoming a practicing professional. And for this part of a journey, you'll be working closely with AHPRA, the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Agency.
They're the national body that oversees the registration of all health practitioners, and that includes us pharmacists. Your in-country journey is another clear 4-step process. First, you'll apply for provisional registration, which lets you work under supervision. Then you complete that supervised practice, or internship. After that, you'll pass 2 final exams, one written and one oral, and then you're at the finish line, applying for general registration to practice independently.
You know, the internship is such a critical part of this whole process. It's not just another test. This period is where you really get to apply everything you know in a real Australian pharmacy, learning all the local systems and practices, all while being guided by an experienced pharmacist. It's practical, it's supportive, and it is absolutely essential. So there you have it. What might have seemed like a pretty daunting process is actually a clear, logical, and totally achievable path. From that overseas exam to your final registration, every single step is laid out for you. Your Australian pharmacy career is a clear path. The only question left is, are you ready to take the first step?